another edition of the Morning View.
Apologies. Apologies. Still on the thumbnail because I can't believe it. I can't believe the players we're in for. And I'm tantalized. I'm excited at the prospect of Man United going after any of them three you see on the phone. Let's bring back the thumbnail one more time. Look at that. Look at that. Which one of the big three? Do you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everyone in the chat. Good morning. What are you lot saying, man? Happy. What did they say? Happy Thursday, man. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to United View if you haven't done so already. Shout out the Abdi. Shout out PJ. Shout out Tabs here every day. Shout out Compost Smurf. Shout out Steffi. Oh, as always, S Matthews as well. I see you all, man. Shout out PJ. Shout out Sean. I see all of you lot, man. Get involved in the chat, whether that's super chat, whether that's a comment, whether that's using your members perks. Get involved, man. Big show for you this morning. We're going to be talking about the huge, big, massive massive Man United rebuild. Midfield, because there's been a piece in The Guardian that's been talking about Wharton, Baleba, and Elliot Anderson. I'm going to get into all three of them and who you guys think should be our number one target as well. As always, you lot know the deal by now. If you don't, I don't know where you've been. But as you can see right there, it's all about being optimized, yeah? And we have got an offer for you alongside Oxford Natural to help you with just that. And here's how. Today's video is sponsored by our friends at Oxford Natural and their all-new natural supplement, Optimum Day and Night. Thousands across the UK, USA, and beyond are smashing their health goals with Oxford Natural. Optimum Day gives you steady energy, curbs your cravings, and keeps your metabolism firing all day. Optimum Night helps you relax, get restorative sleep, recover, and keep burning fat while you rest. It's not a magic pill, but it will help you reach your health goals. Check out some of the incredible results. Two of our own, OWEN, lost over 100 pounds in 10 months, and KG dropped 30 pounds in 4 months. In 8 months, football legend Michael Owen lost 35 pounds, and Robbie from AFTV, Don Robbie, lost over 80 pounds. And in 6 months, Anita, an award-winning immigration lawyer, lost 44 pounds, and Linda, a law firm executive, lost over 50 pounds. No gimmicks, no needles, just results. Oxford Natural, let's get to work. That's right, let's get to work. You can see it right there. Scan the QR code or go to oxfordnatural.com/UV. Scan the QR code right there for up to 70% off your first order. Oh, I've just dropped my award. That's not good. It's fine. It's not broken. You got your Optimum Day right here. Oh, the sun, it's so bright you can't even see it. There you go. Your Optimum Day. That's helping you with your fat burning and your weight loss side of things. And you've got your Optimum Night, which the green screen is clearly not helping because it's see-through right now. But you have your Optimum Night that's going to help you stay in that deep sleep. It's going to help with those sugar cravings as well and keep you on where you need to be at. Like I've said many times before, this ain't no magic pill where you take it and all of a sudden you lose weight. That is not what's going to happen. You need to be, I can't bother to pick up the weights right now, a bit heavy, but you need to be being active. You need to be doing your exercise. You need to be working out. You also need to be having a healthy diet. So I'm saying you can't be trying to take Optimum Day and Night natural supplements, but you're backing it off with fizzy Coke and flipping sweets and Haribos and all of these kind of things. You've got to get a grip of everything, and this is going to help you. You've seen the results, and yes, you can get up to 70% off your first order. Right, let's start by talking about this big midfield rebuild. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about Bruno with his 100 goals for the club as well. This is from Mike McGrath from The Telegraph. And he's talking about Manchester United being the sort of leaders in the market for a new number 6, which that in itself is obviously not news. But the conversation is opening up about who it could be. We obviously know what happened with Baleba. Mike McGrath said this. He says, no, number 6 midfielders will be most wanted players next summer after Baleba, Anderson, Wharton breakthroughs. Man United inquired about Baleba last month. He also says that Man United are leading the race to sign a number 6 as midfielders top the summer wish list. So that bit there is not news in terms of how much we want a number 6. But here's the thing, yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if we should actually sign Carlos Baleba as the number 1 prime target. Hear me out on this. People, Elliot Anderson is wicked. I'm serious about this. I'm serious about this. Carlos Baleba is good. I do like him a lot. I do like him a lot. But we keep talking about we need to make the right decisions. And it's not just based off the game last night. If you did see the game last night for Forest, yeah, then great. See, look, Enzo straight away, he's not better than Baleba Fleck. Listen, what we have to do is stop talking about like the flair or a little bit of skill or a little bit of this, little bit of that. No, look at what we're seeing. Yeah. Look at what we're seeing. Fleck, Anderson isn't a 6. He can play as a 6, bro. And also, you got to look at what our situation is. You're not going to be a 6 just sitting there with midfielders going ahead of you at Man United. So when we say 6, yeah, at here with us playing with 2 midfielders, you're not really, you're a 6, but you're not this deep line 6 while everyone's gone off and left you. In our system, you are playing as a 2-man midfield, so essentially 2 6s or 2 8s, whatever you want to call them, because we play with 2 10s. So I argue this all the time. Do we have 2 8s or 2 6s? How do you? In fact, actually, let's clarify this. Let's clarify this. With our situation in our midfield in this formation, sorry, do you class our midfielders as 2 6s or 2 8s? Let me see something quickly. Let me see something quickly, because clearly the ones ahead of it are 2 10s. I think we all agree on that. We have 2 8s, says Christos. We need 6s who can play, says PJ. 2 8s, says Gabe. I hear you. What else? What are you lot saying on this? They're 2 8s. There you go. 1 6, 1 8. Okay. 8s. 6 and 8. Kristen says 6 and 8. 6 is based on win backs going ahead of them. Okay, fair play. 1 6, 1 8. It's a mixed bag. Should be a 6 and an 8. Slices of Sib says no clue. They're kind of both. 6 and 8 hybrids. Exactly. The reason why I wanted to ask that question is because straight away, I can't remember who it was, shout out to you, said, Elliot Anderson's not 6. Well, first of all, no, he's not just an actual 6. He's actually much more than that. He's actually much more than that. When you look at what this guy's doing, both last season and the beginning of this season, and for England, what he is midfield dynamism. What he actually represents is somebody that in our 6s/8s in a 2-man setup is perfect for it. He's actually perfect for it. He can drive with the ball. He's fantastic in the tackle. He's good with his feet. He can pass. He's got an engine. He actually ticks all of the boxes of what you actually... Flex, can Anderson cover ground, says Lil Yo-Yo. Have you seen this guy play, brother? Actually, I think a little bit ago you said that you haven't really seen much of him. Bro, Elliot Anderson, can he cover ground? Yes. In terms of, like you say, Enzo, he's like Carrick. I'm not trying to say he's like Carrick, but he can run. He can run. The guy is fit up. He's strong. He's powerful. Yes. Okay, I haven't been, to be honest. One of the biggest things I like about him is that's literally one of his biggest things. The man can get about the pitch, bro. He's powerful. And actually, I watched that Forest game last night, and I've been watching Elliot Anderson when Forest played with keen eyes from last year into this year, since he left Newcastle United. I'm not going to lie. He's a proper good midfielder. Even when Forest got licks against Arsenal the other day, he's just involved. He's just involved. And I think he's getting slept on because he's English and his name's Elliot. I'll be honest. Now, Ryan brings up a good point. Anderson will cost 100 million plus. If we're honest, Elliot Anderson is 22. Carlos Baleba is 21. Wharton, same age. I think he's 21. Now, these teams in terms of Forest, Brighton, and Palace, respectively, are going to exploit the market. They're going to charge a lot of money. Elliot Anderson's only in his 2nd season at Forest. His contract don't end until 2029. Joined them last year. So he's secure. He's secure. You know what I'm saying? He's got like 4 years left. Same with Baleba. They're all going to be expensive. They're all going to be expensive. All of them. Do you know what I mean? That's why I'm talking about we have to get the right one. You're not getting any of these for less than, well, people are saying 100 million. Yeah, I don't know if you're going to get him for less than that. I don't know. And Terence Pace says it there. Elliot Anderson, if he keeps going, he might continue to start for England, bro. You've got Jude to come back. You've got Palmer to come back. Rice is already in there. If he keeps going, because of the balance that he actually gives the team, Thomas Tuchel might have to pick him, bro, and say, right, I'm going to use Elliot Anderson like he did the other day against who did England play the other day? Serbia, in our toughest game on paper. Slapped them up. What was it? 4-0, 5-0, whatever it was. He played a 4-1, 4-1 essentially, and Elliot Anderson was the sitter, but also he was driving forward with the ball, making things tick, having forward passes. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a proper good player, bro. And he could be England's starting midfielder. And all of a sudden, it's the attacking players that we've just got more options of where he's not trying to just get Eze in there in the 10, or Palmer has to play in the 10, or Foden's been playing well in the 10. No, he'll just go with the Saka on the right, the Eze or the Palmer or the Madueke or the Gordon or the Rashford on the left. And his midfield two could be in them 2 8s and 1 6 for England is what he plays. Could be Rice and Bellingham, and then you say Elliot Anderson just behind, because again, he allows the rest of the team to function, because you can actually leave him on an island and get after people. So listen, definitely, Enzo, I agree with you, bro. Marinakis is going to be on a madness, on an absolute madness, with the fee that it's going to cost for Elliot Anderson, or they'll just say no. You know what I mean? He'll only be 2 years into his deal. Forest do well under Ange this year, etc., etc. You saw what happened with Gibbs White, mate. Gibbs White thought he was going Forest. I thought he was going Spurs, and they said, nah, mate, not at all. See you later, not at all. But for me, I'll be honest. I think Elliot Anderson is the man to get. I really, really do. I really, really do. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to talk about the other two in a second, in terms of Carlos Baleba and Adam Wharton. They are top players as well, really top young players. But Elliot Anderson, I think, is the one who would get slept on the most. Like I say, just because his name is Elliot Anderson. I know Adam Wharton is English as well. But I don't want us to fall into that trap of, Carlos Baleba, Brighton, I say 100% limit. Anderson is right there. But what is clear is they're all going to be difficult to prize away from their clubs. They won't be there long, but they're going to be difficult to prize away from their respective clubs. I was looking at some of the stats from last night's game, and this in general, shout out Statman Dave. He's always putting up the stats. Says Elliot Anderson's got the most passes in the final third this season in the league, most passes into the final third. And he's got most possession won as well. So he's been one of the best midfielders in the division so far, which is just a fact, I think Joe Cole was sort of saying he ain't going to be there long. Joe Cole said he won't be at Forest for a long time. He's that good, and tips him to start for England at the World Cup and land a big money move. And it is only going to be a matter of time. You can see it, guys. He will be playing for City, Liverpool. You know what I mean? I don't know, Chelsea. Hopefully us. Like, it will happen. You know what I'm saying? Stephanie, big up to you. Says 200 likes next, 100%. Let's get those likes flowing, man. Let me know how it's going over there with the likes. We've got just over nearly 600 people watching. So let's push, people. Let's push and get to 200 likes. We're basically at 100 now, man. So let's step it up on that, people. Sulai says, Baleba is doing us a favor. His head is turned. We spoke about this yesterday about, if his head's turned a bit, what does it look like? What does it look like getting him in the summer? I know some people think we're going to get him in January. I'll be stunned if we do that. I can't see us getting one of these big guys in big money moves in January. I know that Fabrizio was basically saying that. He stood by that, saying that there's going to be movement for us in January. I hope so, because we were trying to get Baleba. If there's a deal to be done, good. I hope we do it. But I think look, he's clearly in bad form right now. He's not. It doesn't mean it means he's a shit player and that this is the reason why we shouldn't go for him. I definitely don't buy into that. He's only 21 years of age as well. We're also talking about players who are nowhere near the finished article. We are. We're talking about players who haven't been there and done it. We're talking about players that are at the beginning of their careers or at the beginning of playing at this level consistently. So they're going to have ups and downs. But if there's a deal to be done for Baleba for sort of 70 million as opposed to 100, we have to be there at the table. I 100% agree. Matt says, I flex. I'm never doubting you again. Your Kante shout last season was on point. Didn't know you could see the future. Flex for sporting director. Now, I don't know about that, Mac. I'm not an I told you so guy. I'm not a football scholar. I don't have the deep breadth of ball knowledge that some have. I'm just a fan that I call it how I see it. I call it how I see it. And the Kante thing, listen, that was a bit of a running joke. But in terms of what he represents and what he could give us at that level, I was still saying, look at our shit midfield now. That guy could walk in and still start for us and would be a lot better. And I also said before we got the striker, I was talking about it at the end of last season. I'm like, our midfield level is on the floor. And it's all of a sudden now that, once we've sorted out the attack, it's no surprise to me that everything has moved towards looking at midfield. Let's be honest, because our midfield's a joke. One of the worst in the league as a pairing, or if you add the 2 10s into it, which hasn't really worked. It's a mess. It really is. Like, we'll win games here and there. Of course we are, because we've got good players in some positions, and sometimes these are having good performances and just not scoring goals. So, you'll get games like the Chelsea one where we do win. But I'm talking about sustainability. I'm talking about getting back to the top. I'm talking about being a serious football team. And you're not going to be a serious football team with Bruno Fernandes. As much as I love him, I'm going to talk about his 100 goals later on in the show, with a midfield partnership of him and Casemiro, or him and Ugarte, or him and Kobe. Like, you're just not. Maybe even Kobe with the ground he's got to cover in this system, I can't see it. I really can't see him being a main feature. And we're clearly going to invest so heavily into midfield in the summer for big fees. It's going to be very interesting to see what it looks like with Kobe, which we'll talk about that a little bit later in the show as well. So big up to you, Mac. D says, Flex, Vivell is cooking a serious foodage. Them 2 young central defensive midfielders are hope for the future. So good to see us shopping in the same market as Brighton. Yes, you know what? Because we did sign a player. What's his name again? I saw that. Let me bring that up, people. Let me go grab that. I did see that. Is he a young Colombian kid, isn't he? 17, and he's going to join us when he's 18. There you go. Well, Ben Jacobs just tweeted about it in the last couple of minutes, but it was already on my agenda. Pipe Sierra is an outlet out there. He's a Colombian journalist, but Ben Jacobs has gone with this as well. And Manchester United, Ben Jacobs says, Manchester United have agreed a deal to sign Colombian under-17 international Christian Orozco, I'm going to say, Orozco, when he turns 18, as called by Pipe Sierra, like I said. The defensive midfielder captain Colombia as they reached the final of the under-17 South American Championships last spring. I don't think there's he's going to travel to United when he's 18. This looks very similar to what we did with Diego Leon as well. We signed him when he was 17, I think, and then he joined us a little bit later. Like you can see with this Orozco deal, what we've just done, and what we did with Sekou Kone, we're investing into that area. Was there another one we signed as well? Who's the other one we signed? Colombian and Senegalese. Ain't Sekou Kone the other one? I think Dabo is the Barca guy once bad. Homegrown. I think we've signed 2. I think we signed 2, no? Hit the light, yeah. Another one, Dabo. Well, we've got another one as well. What's going on? Let me see this Dabo thing. MUFC. Who's this other kid? Man United coaching staff reportedly been impressed with Mohamed Dabo's all-round skills. The website labels clean tackling vision. These are described as rare qualities in the player's age, which is why Man United are interested in his profile. The president of BS Sport Academy is currently in England to finalise discussions with Man United. Okay, so we're looking like we're in for him. Christian Vivell said this. Let me go back. We're on the Christian Vivell said, I don't know how true this is or where the quotes are from. It's from Man United Addicts, though. So Christian Vivell said, we're on the verge of signing Mohamed Dabo. My vision is to create a young squad that can win Champions League and Premier League that will fight for the badge and make Man United fans around the world proud. I really believe it will happen. I know what I'm doing. That don't sound like a real quote. That sounds a bit dodgy. But there's Steve Ralston's reports came in. Man United are on the verge of signing Senegalese midfielder Mohamed Dabo are false. That's from Steve Ralston. Steve Ralston is from the MEM news desk. I don't know. This Dabo one seems a little bit. I'm not sure about this one, people. I ain't sure about that one. And that Vivel quote, I just read that. That don't sound like something he would say. Man's like, I know what I'm doing. That don't sound right. Let's just stick to this Christian Orozco for now, anyway. But I think what we can clearly see is we're investing into this area. We're trying to get some of the best young prospects around the world and European football. That's what we should be doing. You know what I mean? That's what we've employed these guys to do. That's what Jason Wilcox has been employed to do. That's where he's made his name. You know, post playing football. That's where he's made his name. He's made his name in the City Academy. If those of you who haven't seen the video that I did with Jolyon Lescott when I got him on, shout out Jolyon, when we were talking about Omar Barada when he came in, and also Jason Wilcox. He was talking about some of the work that was done in the academy, and Jason Wilcox was a big part of that. And so was Omar Barada. They had a lot of players there that have come through that academy that they were in charge of. So I can clearly, you can see our shift in bringing up the next young ones has been very impressive. I mean, Aiden Heaven, I think he played more than the manager admitted it. He ended up playing last season because of injuries. He wasn't really supposed to be playing, but you know, he got a chance to and did well in like the 4 or 5 games that he had before he got injured. We haven't really seen him this year yet. Obviously, we saw him against Grimsby, but that's tough. But he's one for the future, and you can tell get him for 1.5 million. You see what we've done with Chido. You see what we've done with Diego Leon. He's not quite ready yet. You can see that in the limited times we've seen him. Needs more time, but he's training with the first team. Obviously, Lenny Yoro goes without saying. He's a first team regular. So I like what we've done. So to see us go and sign this kid, Orozco is his name. Orozco, sorry. When he turns 18, he's 17 at the moment. No problem. Good. That's what we need. You know what I mean? And this is the same pool of players. This is the same catalogue of players that people like Brighton are doing on a regular. You know what I mean? Man like Brighton are signing these players for 1 point something million or 600 grand or whatever it may be, 4 million quid and all of this. And, you know, selling them for big money. You know what I mean? What did Brighton pay for Caicedo? Brighton Caicedo fee. 4 million. Oh, yeah, because we was potentially going to sign him. They paid approximately 4 to 4.5 million for Caicedo from Ecuadorian side Independiente. A deal that proved to be incredibly profitable. Yeah, because they sold him for how much? Brighton. How much did they sign? What's his name? Cucurella for. How much did they sign him for? How much did? No, I don't want that. I want how much did Brighton pay for Cucurella? Yeah, how much did they pay for him? 15 million from Getafe. That one's a little less so. What about Matoma? Where did he come from? How much was Matoma? I bet he was nothing. 2.5 million. And in last January, they turned down like 80 million from Saudi. Mad. They signed him from Kawasaki. Yeah, mad thing. 2.5 million. Do you know what I mean? Crazy money. Crazy money. Even Baleba, how much did they pay for him? To be fair, they paid quite a little bit. They paid 23 million for him, to be fair. Signed him from Lille because he was actually doing bits, to be fair. Included 3 million in potential add-ons. So it's looking like 27 million euros, including add-ons. Do you know what I'm saying? But they buy cheap. This is what they do. McAllister, I think they got for cheap, didn't they? 7.8 million. They got McAllister for. Madness. Oh wait, no, that's his salary. that's his salary. That's his salary. Chill, flex, chill. How much did he cost Brighton? He cost them 35 million. Liverpool? No. How much did he cost Brighton, man? Why is that not coming up? Brighton signed McAllister from Argentina. There you go. How much was that for? 2019. 4.5-year deal. See, it's not saying how much money it was. Is it undisclosed fee? That was kept quiet, innit? No one knows. Brighton completed the signing of midfield Alexis McAllister from Argentinos Juniors. They got him when he was 20 from Argentinos Juniors, bro. You know how mad that is? But what's the price? 9 million. 9 million to Ross. $9 million. 6.9 million pounds. Mad. Crazy. So anyway, back to the point. Yeah. They sign players for good prices. And back to what we were talking about for us. This is where we need to get. I've said loads of times, where's our players like this? Where's our Carlos Balebas? Where's our Caicedos? Where's our players from that part of the world for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 million pounds? Do you know what I mean? That turn into absolute steals. You know what I mean? Use the scouting network. So these guys are like 17 now at the time, 17, 18. Within a couple of years, you'd like to think they can start, you know what I mean, being drip fed into the first team and make a serious impact, you know? I think it's very different. I mean, the only difference with what Brighton do is they get players that are ready now, even though they are like 19, 20, 21. You know what I'm saying? So maybe not as long as 17 and straight in, but we have to change that culture, and I don't mind doing that. I think that's been a big part of what Christian Favell has done, and that is a positive. Starlord says, smash the like button. Big up, absolutely everyone. Have a blessed day. Starlord's been a member for 39 months as well. Big up to you, Starlord. Big respect. Terence Price says, Hertzler said that Baleba seems out of it because of United interest. We should also look at Lee Kang in from PSG. Personally, I kind of like him. Yeah, he's neat and tidy. He came off the bench, didn't he, and scored against Spurs in the Super Cup, did he? I want to say. Was it? Let me know, football scholars. When either guy come off the bench and scored, I think he was. But I'm not sure about being the main guy that we need. I don't know about that. But I just think I can see these guys here that we're interested in. And that's the one. They're the ones that I really want to get. You know, whether that's Baleba, Wharton, or Anderson. I'm really feeling that Anderson. Well, there isn't a link there actually, but I just know what he's going to be. I can see it. I can see how good he is already, man. He is some player, and like I said last night against Betis, he was very good, very good for England. He was very good. Yes, Marinakis is going to be an arsehole to deal with, but so is clearly Tony Bloom at Brighton. Do you know what I'm saying? So is Steve Parish at Crystal Palace. I think any one of these players, this is what I'm talking about. It's like, I know Evangelos Marinakis a little bit, probably a step higher than the rest, have been more difficult to deal with, but they're all going to have certain challenges and certain things that need to be met to be able to do it. Let's talk about Adam Wharton. You know, Adam Wharton, top player, mate. Since he's come in from Blackburn, he's been a revelation. Absolute revelation. His contract finishes in 2029. So again, similar thing, 21 years of age. I think that he's excellent, man. He's brilliant on the ball. He's a good mover. He can win the ball back. How many times has he played for them already? He's played 40 times for Palace, or 50 times in all comps, but 40 in the Prem. And he played 50 times in all comps for Brighton, for Blackburn. And he's another one. Like I think actually, in terms of his playing style, he's probably closest to Carrick out of the lot, out of Anderson and out of Carlos Baleba. The way he just sits, and he obviously plays in the system that we play in already. You know, the way he sits in that position and can dictate play, he can be a tempo setter, he can pass with both feet, always wants to pass forward. He's the real deal as well, man. He's a fantastic player. I still think that Elliot Anderson's got more bite about his game, which is, I think we need that physicality. Wharton could definitely play in our team. 100% is a massive upgrade and would be a great signing. I'm definitely here if we try and get him. However, I still like, you lot know my things now. I've got Elliot Anderson at the top of that list. The very, very top of that list is where I've got Elliot Anderson. But Adam Wharton is top. Shows as I'll be honest, Fleck, I don't care about incomings anymore. Why Amram is here. Don't think it'll prove anything. Well, you know, whilst he is here, Show, I hear you, but whilst he is here, we've got to keep investing in the squad. And like I've been saying, buy good players. So it isn't dependent on whether Amarim is here or not. Hopefully, you know, starting against Brentford on the weekend, I'll be at that game. I really hope that we start to turn a corner. Do you know what I mean? The only thing that can start to undo some of our feelings on Ruben is W's, bro. So, and we shouldn't halt the development of the team. I'm not saying buy players just for Amarim. There's two things that can get confused, isn't it? When you buy players and it looks like the manager might not be the one or it hasn't been good, it's like, don't buy this guy any more signings. When actually, if you plan well and recruit well, you're not really... both things can be true. You are signing players for this manager because obviously you're signing players that he's going to be able to use. But you can also think past the manager. Don't just buy players that suit this dead system. Don't just buy players that only Ruben Amorim wants and nobody else sees them as a good player. Don't just buy players who can only play one position and this, that, and the other. And I think what we actually have done, which is what I look at with the signings we've just made, is actually the 3 signings we made this summer. Obviously, Sonny Lomans is, you know, the 4th, but that's not a first team one as of yet. But the 3 attackers we bought, they're just good players. I don't think that's anything to do with Ruben. Not saying Ruben didn't want them or players got dumped on in training and you just got told that's your players. But I can see the forward thinking for both. I can see how Ruben can use them now because I think they're adaptable. But also, if Ruben got sacked tomorrow, I think that the new manager coming in, he wanted to play a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3 or a 4-4-2 or a 4-1-4-4-1. Those players can slot into it because they're just good players. So I hear you, Show. It's not about, you know, it will still be bad with Ruben, etc. But we still have to kick the squad on. If there's opportunities to buy really good players in January or the summer when Ruben's still our manager because they've decided to keep him, we have to buy these players. You know what I mean? Wrap up, Heaven says it there. The last window was basically an Ineos window. Amrim got none of the players he wanted. Remember, he's just a head coach. And look, I don't know if we can definitely say he got none of the players he wanted, because I think he really likes. I think a player, if you look at the type of characteristics that Amrim is looking for in his players for this system, and Bruno and Cunha do suit that as well. So that's what I'm saying. Both things can be true. That's why I don't think Amarim's angry at the fact we got Cunha and Bruno. I think he really likes those players, and I think actually we've seen glimpses, not too much inconsistency because we need more wins. But I have seen, bias aside of thinking like whatever I think about Ruben, I have seen that those 2 players can play in his system. You know, I think when you look at Sesko, obviously the jury's not out on whether he's good or not. The jury's out on how he's going to take to this system and how the team needs to play for him. The jury's still out, but I think Cunha and Bruno, again, being Premier League proven, there's a level that just signing better players can give you, regardless of what system. And Cunha actually played in the same system as well. So those guys know exactly what it is. Rally 365 says, I agree, it was an Ineos window. You can see it with Lomans. Exactly. I think we can see that. We can see what's going on. So I'm not too concerned that they're buying players and Ruben Amorim's still the manager and you might not think he's going to turn it around and stuff. I'm not concerned because if we, again, it'll be the same with any of these 3. If we sign any of, or imagine we sign 2 of, but if we sign any of Anderson, Baleba or Wharton, any one of them, that represents a very, very good transfer. One that will massively help us in the midfield. Massively. Any one of them. Even though I've got Elliot Anderson as top of that list for me, because I think he's wicked. You know, if we sign Carlos Baleba, that was a good signing. I'm not sure he should be 100 million. I don't think he should. But I understand that these clubs are going to charge that. I think Elliot Anderson is better than him. I do. Oh, I think he will be. Or especially for what we need. But Carlos Baleba would be a good sign, and I do like Carlos Baleba. and of course Wharton. But these guys are going to cost peas. These guys are going to cost peas. All three of them. Do you know what I'm saying? All three of them are going to cost something substantial. That's for sure. Sanchez says we can buy as many young talent we want, but if we don't have a couple of leaders on the pitch to guide these young players, it's all going to be in vain. Agreed. Like, obviously, you want to build a young team. Look what Chelsea are doing. They're not signing players over what 24, 25. I don't think it's probably one of their oldest players. I don't know how old is Reece James now. He must be one of their oldest players. Actually, Tosin's probably one of their oldest players, isn't it? He's probably the oldest. But the rest of them are all quite young. So look, we are obviously trying to build for the future. So you want to get the best young talent, but 100% you do need some experience in there. Whether that comes with bringing in someone who's, you know, on the other side of 30 to sprinkle across the team. You know, how we see it is the leaders in there are people like, I'm not saying I agree with this, but it's the best of what we got. Obviously, Bruno, who's the other side of 30 now. Harry Maguire, you know, Lisandro Martinez, who's not 30 yet, but he's like 27, something like that, isn't he? I see De Ligt as one of them leaders, even though he doesn't have the title of being in the leadership group. I don't think he's in it, but he's definitely a leader. Mazraoui's experienced. He's not going to be maybe lead vocally, but he's a very experienced player. But in terms of the starting 11, we do need more leaders in there. Casemiro is down as a leader because of what he's done in his career and where he's been, but there's no longevity in that. This is Casemiro's last season. Do you know what I'm saying? Playing for us. So we're not going to give him a new deal, are we? So he'll just go on a free. So listen, I agree with that. We do need more leaders, but at the same time, they're trying to get the best players who are playing in the league. And actually, these young players that we're talking about, they are amongst the best midfielders in the league. They are. Adam Wharton is one of the best midfielders in the league. Elliot Anderson is one of the best midfielders in the league. Obviously, you've got your upper echelon. So you've got Rodri, Rice, Caicedo, Gravenberch. You know, McAllister's a top midfielder in this league. Enzo Fernandez, too hot and cold for me. Who else? You know, Gibbs, White, Eze, even though they're kind of 10s, Palmer 10. But in terms of central midfielders, not 10s, not attackers, these are the guys that are up there. You'd add Baleba, you'd add Anderson, and you'd add Wharton as some of the top midfielders in the league. 100%, you definitely would. After those, like the top five, is like I said before. So, and then you're getting into attacking midfielders, which is a different thing altogether. So, for me, I'm looking at, you know, and saying that these are amongst the best players in the league, regardless of age. You know, they are turning into leaders. They are the next set of leaders. They are the next trendsetters, and we need to be there. We need to be there trying to sign them. For me, what are you lot saying? Likes wise, how are we doing? 173. Let's get to 250, please. Let's get to 250, please. We're basically at 800 people watching, which is good. Big up yourselves. In fact, before we move on, I want to do a little poll actually on this. Let's do a little vote. Let's do a little poll about who you lot think should be who should United sign. Which midfielder should United sign? Let's do that. Should it be Baleba, Anderson, had another option, or Wharton? Let me know, people. Let me know. Which midfielder should United sign? There you go. There you go. Boom. Start the poll. Just before we wrap up this midfield talk, who's everyone's vote going to? What are you lot saying? How are you lot feeling about this? Let's see. Look at that. Everyone going for Baleba already. Anderson's bottom. You lot ain't feeling Anderson. Look at this already. 51% are saying Baleba. 56 now. I can see the trend already. Ain't going to change. But, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute, Flex. Don't go too early. Wait a minute. Yeah, but Baleba's still the clear favourite, though. But second is Anderson now. A few people are hearing me on the Anderson thing. And guys, I beg you lot, yeah, there's nearly 800 of you watching. I want this to be as big a sample size as possible to see what you guys really think. Shout out Preston says Anderson for me. Show says easy Wharton for me. Steffi says, can't we have 2 of them? And you know what? Imagine that. Oh my God. Talk about ripping out the attack and putting a new one in. If we can do that in the summer/January, rip out the midfield and put a new one in, please, please, please. Give me Anderson and Baleba, or Anderson and Wharton, or whatever you want. Whatever you want. And for the people writing it in the chat, Chidera, make sure you vote as well. Make sure you register your vote. But clearly, very, very clearly, the favourite is Baleba. 45% of you want Baleba. 29% of you want Anderson. And Wharton is the least favourite at 26%. 26%. I'll leave that poll, doing its thing. For me, my order of ceremonies, I would go because Baleba can get about a bit, so I'd probably go him. I'd go Anderson first. I was thinking Wharton second and maybe Baleba third, but Baleba is a good mover. He can move. I like people with the pace through the thirds. So I'd go Anderson, Baleba, Wharton would be my order of ceremonies. Exactly. Anderson and any other will be fine for me, says Chidera. Yeah, I agree. Wharton with either of the other 2. To be fair, Wharton is the most different to the other 2, to be fair. So actually, balance-wise, you're probably looking at it would be a better balance. But, mate, I'm telling you now, mate, Elliot Anderson can do everything. I'm telling you, bro, that guy's wicked. He's cold, man. He's cold. He is. He is, man. He really is. Right, we're nearly at 200 likes, 196. Make sure you like up the thing. Let's talk Bruno Fernandes, yeah? Because I didn't really get a chance to do this the other day because we had so much news to talk about. Kind of went a little bit under the radar. Bruno Fernandes obviously has scored his 100th goal, and he got presented yesterday with a nice little presentation from Will Cox, a nice little picture thing with all of his goals on there. And, you know, Bruno gets labeled as the problem, and, you know, he also gets labeled at, yeah, but he's been the captain in what? What's he led us to? What's them 100 goals done? Like, and I just don't get it, people. Me personally, I don't get the Bruno slander. And I said this would happen from when we change his position. And actually, a lot of people, even before we change his position, don't like Bruno Fernandes and don't think he's that guy. But when you take a look at what he's done in this club, in its worst form, but yet he individually sits alongside some of the top midfielders we've ever had. I don't know how you can argue with it. Yeah, net negative, they say, whatever that stupid dumbass saying is, net negative foolishness. Like, I just don't get it. Like, you know, Fred says that good for Bruno on scoring 100 goals for the club, but I still want him gone. PSG got rid of their talisman Mbappe and succeeded. I'm not, again, I'm not saying like he can fix all of our problems, but he's our best player, people. Like, he just is and always has been. Midfielders with 100 goals for Man United: Bobby Charlton, Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes, and Bruno Fernandes. Now, again, the era that he's playing in is the era that Bruno's playing in. He's playing in a shit Manchester United era, just like Gerrard played in a shit Liverpool era. Do you know what I mean? Didn't play with Kenny Dalglish and Souness and them, man, when they were winning everything. Didn't win a league title. Fucking Henderson won a league title at Liverpool. Was he better than Gerrard? No. But what I'm saying is that he sits at a table of midfielders for Man United. I don't care what's gone on. If you've scored 100 goals from midfield for Man United, and the only other midfielders to do that in our history is Scholes, Giggs, and Charlton, brother, no one can talk to you, bro. Come on. No, if anything, yeah, and Gerrard played in good teams as well. Like, you could, you know, Hamza's saying he's a top-class luxury player, not what we need. Like, I don't understand how we can not need someone like Bruno. If anything, what we should have done is been getting more players like Bruno and recruiting better. The same way that happened with Pogba. People who defend Pogba but don't like Bruno, like, will say, look at the team that's built around Pogba. You know, he had to do everything, this, that, and the other. And I agree with that, by the way. I agree with that. Pogba wasn't the most consistent by himself, but ability-wise, you can't talk to Pogba. The things that Pogba can do with the ball is ridiculous. But look at how Man United was built at that time. Awful. His man was asked to do everything. He couldn't. If he's assisting, it's not enough. If he's not putting in tackles, not enough. If he's scoring, it's not enough. Bruno has fucking done it all. He's done it all. Here's another one for you guys. Here's another stat. For all of them, penalty merchants, or it's just this, that, and the other. 30 of Bruno's goals, 30 of his 100 goals have put the team in the lead, and 21 of them have been winning goals. Make that sink in. So 30 of them have been the first goal of the game, one of the most important things to do. Obviously, get the first goal, most important thing in football. And then 21 of them have been winning goals. So 51% of his goals have been very impactful. None other than 41 scorers since his debut have, none other than the other 41 scorers since his debut have brought as many victories to the club. Mad. Look at this. He's the 18th player to score 100 goals for Man United. He's with Wayne Rooney, Charlton, Law, Jack Rowley, Best, Dennis Viollet, Giggsy, Hughes, Scholes, Van Nistelrooy, David Hurd, Ronaldo, Solskjaer, Ollie, Andy Cole, Brian McClare. Like, he's sitting at the table of United royalty. Like, in this dead-ass team. And he's our biggest problem. A player that has created history for this club on a personal, because the team's been so shit in the time that he's playing there. It has never been good enough to challenge for the Premier League. It has never been good enough to challenge for the Champions League. That's why I don't think people understand. Our team, it's not just because of one man. You can't be good enough to challenge for the Prem and the Champions League because of one guy. You have to be a fucking good team. You have to be a good team, bro. So Bruno's done his job. He's done his job. All he's ever done is his job. He's created the most chances in the Premier League since he's been here. In a shit team. Imagine if Bruno played for Man City. See, Super Arch. We were nearly relegated with him, so it's not a good argument. But also, the reason why we wasn't relegated was because he was our player of the season. It's mad. Exactly. The same man that hate on Bruno will rate Sancho. Like, make it make sense, bro. Make it make sense, bro. The one guy who has any level of consistency about what he does in terms of putting numbers on the board and understanding what this team's about. And I've seen Bruno. Exactly, we would have been relegated. Take out Bruno's goals from last year, we would have fucking got relegated, mate. But I've seen Bruno off the pitch, away from it all, and seen what he does. Like, he is a good leader. He is. Do you know what I'm saying? He's the only well-placed calf player we have. And Bruno is a player that will get into any of them top teams, or a lot of the top teams. People laugh and say, no, he wouldn't. Yes, he would. If Bruno played for Arsenal instead of Odegaard over these last however many years, where could Arsenal have been? If Bruno played at Man City, he would have had the trophies to back up how good he is. He would have. He would have. He would have. So, listen, I don't know. I'm actually tired of, like, I'm not. People who think Bruno's shit, it's fine. Think he's shit. People who think that we're better without him, fine. No problem. I do agree, though. I do agree, and have always agreed, that actually, playing him where we're playing him now is going to be a big issue. And it has been already. I will always criticize Bruno when he deserves it. I was cussing him against Fulham. I was cussing him against... who did he let the player run past again the other day? What team was that again? Who did we play the other day and he let the person run past again? Who was it? What was the other mistake he made the other day? Someone ran past him. Anyway, whoever that was. I will be City. That was it. City did it to Foden. But anyway, I won't be biased. I won't be biased. Like, if Bruno has a shit game, I'll call him out, because I've got high standards for Bruno. And yes, he's our leader. Like, if he's not going to do it, not many others will. Do you know what I mean? He has a knack for getting goals. He has a knack for getting assists consistently. But he is proper Marmite, 100% wrap up heaven. I've never seen someone so good sort of split so much opinion on him. And it is that he is proper Marmite. I think everybody else outside of our fan base can't stand him. There's only a few that, like, really understand how wicked he is. call him a rat and he's just annoying because he's hands up and whatever. He's a top player. And yeah, and then there's a few in our fan base who just don't like it. Super Arch, to be fair, is admitting it. Says, I've been anti-Bruno for years. His best bits were before he became captain. Fair play. At least that's what you think, to be fair. Super Arch, you're entitled to your opinion, brother. You're entitled to your opinion. Ray Carl Brown says, Bruno Fernandes showed up for United. Problem is, United never built 10 other Bruno Fernandes in the team. That's the main problem, not Bruno. That's what I'm saying. You can only be as good as the team around you. Like, he's taking care of his own business year after year. So there you go. All right, people. Thanks for watching. Big show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you can scan the QR code on screen. There you go, to take you to the landing page for your Oxford Natural supplements. Smash a like on the video, people. And yes, I will see you guys very, very soon. Big up and have a blessed day. I'm out of here. Take care. Peace, man.